Just for back right now back to a new Cat Dog review, and if you're in /1, go and check it out. And we're back with the next 2 episodes of season 3 of CatDog. We start with another really interesting one, and it starts with Cat doing these chores, and Dog just chewing some gum and making this very gross thing with gum. And yeah, then we see these alley cats, which literally there's a whole alley like outside of Cat Dog's house. Like, how did that get there? And yeah, we're just saying these alley cats because they're like, yeah, daddy-o, and all of that stuff, and all just snapping their fingers and stuff, being like cool, like you would say, kind of like on. Remember that Mind the Gap SpongeBob episode where Squidward wanted to be some of those people at that or at that place where they were just snapping their fingers and stuff. That's what these alley cats are basically like. And yeah, Cat just can't seem to stop snapping. And then, yeah, they're just doing some singing as well. And yeah, Cat is just trying to keep them down and just saying of how not so good that they are. And yeah, then when he's going out there to complain, of course, he is just loving the female cat. Just and then we then see Cat just can't stop when it comes to that music, and he becomes an alley cat himself. And yeah, they think he's all right. They think they really dig his groove. And yeah, the next morning, Dog is saying that he is wanting to become more res- responsible, and even throwing away his disgusting gum collection. And yeah, of course, Cat saying that he changed his name since he's part of those alley cats, and saying this tattoo that he's got, and being very gross, I would say, with all this garbage, and that is like in the living room too. Like yeah, that is just very gross, I would say. And then when Dog is sleeping, Cat decides, which yeah, to leave, and Dog finds out that he's gone and goes to find him, which is pretty easy, and he's wondering of what's going on. And yeah, we see those alley cats inside the house, and Dog is actually acting more responsible, I would say, and actually getting pretty angry. And yeah, they're just throwing cat balls or hair balls everywhere. And yeah, him just telling them to get out, and even forbidding Cat to go out with those alley cats and grounding him. And yeah, he of course leaves, and Dog wakes up and of course ends up knocking him over. And they sang of how there's only one way to settle this whole ordeal. And yeah, they do this race to see who, like, if Cat will be able to stay with these alley cats, or if he'll go back to leave leave these whole alley cats behind. And yeah, we see this elderly lady that ends up getting onto the bikes too, and slapping each other, and going into these power lines too, and going out of the telephone, out of this building. And then yeah, they end up getting trapped, that they say. And of course, Dog is making him Cat to promise that he would go turn away from these alley cat ways, and he promises to be more responsible. And yeah, those alley cats end up leaving, and of course, Dog is going back to his whole ways as well, of course. But yeah, very interesting episode. And then we go to the next one, and it's another interesting one. And it starts with this lady dressed as a mermaid and attracting this fish. And yeah, it's this lady part of this show, which she is going to be finding who would be the best, has the best Fisher story. And of course, yeah, Cat is absolutely wanting to be part of that. And yeah, when he thinks that it's some salesman, he tells him to beat it, even though it's that same lady. And he's like, wait. And then just goes back and apologizes. And yeah, Of course, he sees this fish that's being hung up on the wall, and she believes that Cat managed to fish it up. But of course, Cat is obviously lying, because there's no way that he, of course, fished that. And even shushing Dog as they do this whole show. And of course, Dog is not aware, being completely aware that Cat is obviously lying. And yeah, they're gonna just make up this whole story. And yeah, we say that they're trying to figure out someone to go out and catch this fish, which yeah, Cat and Dog decide to go and catch the fish. And yeah, Dog is making it a little too going a little too much on the story. And yeah, we see him sailing and finding the swordfish and brings Dog on board too at the wheel. And yeah, this but so he's dressed like a construction worker. I don't know why, and even sticks out his butt too. And yeah, they shoot the plunger and got him. And then we see these weird pirates, which yeah, these weird pirates that I don't even know what to think. That just bouncing around, and of course, Dog is fighting them and popping them, and they're all deflating. And yeah, Cat's still looking about and finding this mine thing and getting hit, and the toilet splattering out with water, and Dog squirting out the water back into the ocean. Yeah, a very crazy story that they're making up. And then they find a fish again while Dog is down doing some coal in the fire, and the sink is sinking and splitting apart, which then they escape with this cool little sub, and Dog basically acting like he's the actual hero here. And we see these muscled clam creatures, which, yeah, the lady is absolutely astounded, and keeps wondering what happens next. And then we see this like nuke explosion, and then this hairy monster thing. Like, yeah, this is some story. And then they end up on this island with these weird chimp creatures, and then they captured that fish, and Dog is having to fight these chimp creatures with this sword like thing. And yeah, of course, C is believing all of this is actually happening. Obviously, none of this actually happened. And yeah, Cat is just being paranoid with Dog. And yeah, of course, he admits that obviously they did not catch the fish, they only bought it. And C still believes that Dog is the one that actually did all of it. Like, C believes that Dog actually did all of the stuff that he did, because he actually wins the contest. Unlike Cat, which yeah, he's down and sees all these crabs. Yeah, very interesting episodes. Like